Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want us to talk about Azimio's Monday demonstrations for Kenyans to know what happened behind the scenes, who did what and where. And that's important because there is a lot of propaganda being peddled and Kenyans are ending up getting confused. But before digging deep into that, if you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. The first thing Kenyans should know, Azimio's Monday demonstrations were done as per the law. Azimio did notify the police, so the police was just expected to offer them security, which never happened. The police interfered with the demonstrations. So the police broke the law. That's one thing Kenyans should know. And that's not debatable, ladies and gentlemen. The second thing Kenyans should know, we saw some clashes in Kibra. There were two opposing groups, Azimio group and another group. Without mincing my words here, it's important to know that the other group that was opposing Azimio demonstrators, that group was most definitely sponsored by the government. And I think that's also something that is very clear, and there should be no much debate about that. And the aim of the government sponsoring that rival group was to create this perception and a perception that the government side also has supporters. I think that was the message why that team was sponsored. And the team's aim again and objective was to cause division between the mountain and the lake, and to a larger extension, a division between the Luo community in Kibra and the Nubian community in Kibra. And that was witnessed when that said group, that sponsored group, torched a mosque in Kibra and also torched some churches in Kibra. That was to cause that animosity between communities living in Kibra. So that was a government-sponsored goons doing all that. And then also we saw some youths invading Uhuru Kenyatta's farm. That group that invaded Uhuru Kenyatta's farm, chances are also very clear, and Kenyans should not be confused on this, that that group was government-sponsored. And that's why the police were not available when that group was storming Uhuru Kenyatta's farm. And the same group also vandalized Raila Spectrum International Company. And that said group this evening also set on fire Uhuru Kenyatta's farm. Those are things that are important, Kenyans should and must know. And the group that also attacked the media in Kibra in the morning and also attacked the media at Uhuru Kenyatta's farm, that group was also government sponsored. So Kenyans should not be confused as to who might have done all that. Those goons were government sponsored. And that was expected. And for those who have been following us here, I've always maintained that a government that is on its deathbed resorts to such disparate moves as using even goons. And I've constantly given examples here of Sri Lanka, when the government there resorted to using goons. I'm very sure that it will reach a point as the demonstrations continue in Kenya even the police it will reach a point the police will surrender, because the more they persecute and actually trample on the rights of Kenyans, they are hardening Kenyans. And Kenyans are actually now being hardliners. They are taking hardline positions. So as time goes by, the police in one way or the other will be forced to surrender. Because in the event they don't surrender, then they'll be forced to kill thousands of Kenyans, which I honestly believe none of them in his or her right mind of sense may want to go that route. So it's important Kenyans to know that those who attacked, the goons that attacked media, the media in Kibra and at Uhuru Kenyatta's farm, those goons were clearly government sponsored. The police broke the law by interfering with Azimio's demonstrations. And those are facts, ladies and gentlemen. And I still believe, and I honestly believe, that by attacking Uhuru Kenyatta's farm, William Ruto and his team are just shooting themselves on the foot. I'm seeing a team that is hardening a section of the mountain who loves and respects Uhuru Kenyatta. I'm seeing William Ruto and Rigathi Gachagwa's team hardening those residents stand. They are hating William Ruto more. They are hating Rigathi Gachagua more. And that's only helping in whipping emotions, pro-Azimio emotions across the country, including on the mountain. And also we saw Raila's Spectre International was also pelted with stones. And that's also very risky, because William Ruto's Western Hotel is also not very far away from the areas where the demonstrators were actually demonstrating. So William Ruto is really making a very big blunder by his government sanctioning goons that are now targeting personal properties. That's actually a big blunder. And then I've always maintained here again that Ruto and his team, they are not very smart when it comes to politics. You can just tie the dots and you will just know their next political move. William Ruto left the country as the demonstrations were starting, in that he wanted to create a perception that he was not part and parcel of what happened in Kenya. The truth of the matter, Ruto was well briefed and he knew exactly what was being planned and what was to happen. So by taking a tour to Germany and to Belgium, that's, in my honest opinion, that was a fool's errand, because whether he's there or not, it's clear he was briefed on what was to happen. And now Raila this evening announced that on Thursday, Azimio will proceed with their mass action. And Raila stressed that it will be countrywide. I'm seeing a William Ruto that is boxing itself, or rather William Ruto is boxing himself. His government is boxing itself in a very precarious situation. Because with what is happening in Kenya, with the kind of sufferings Kenyans are going through, honestly speaking, just a spark can lead to a serious revolution. And from the way Kenya is going, we are headed to a possible revolution. And the person to lose in this case is clearly William Ruto and his team. Let me stop it there, ladies and gentlemen. If you are watching us, but you have not yet subscribed, subscribe, give this video a like. And to our fans and subscribers here, I'm very much humble, very grateful for the kind of support you are giving me here. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Any other person who wants to support us here, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your support to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis.